good day, and good afternoon to you. What's your name? Jill. Okay. Welcome to my office. Let's see. What brings you in today? You need somebody to talk to. Okay, well, what seems to be the problem, Jill? Ooh, the people you have to tolerate when it comes to collections. Okay. Well, what seems to be going on there with your collections department? Ah, yes. So looks like you've been a victim. Well, not that you're a victim, but looks like they've been cussing you out 6 ways to Sunday or more when it comes to you calling up and saying you owe this, you owe that, and you're just doing your job, right? Well, I understand, Jill. Your job is not an easy one. Being a debt collector is never easy. Collecting anything and calling people and reminding them that they have to pay this is not easy. So, what seems to have you stressed about it, though? Mm, the attitude that people have and the way they treat y'all over the phone. Okay. Well, that I understand. It's not easy. Matter of fact, let me ask: do you pick up the phone and what's the first few lines you say to them? Okay. You let them know that you're calling from a debt collection agency and that you're wanting to speak to such and such over the phone. And then what do you say next, Jill? Oh, they don't give you a chance to speak. And what do they tell you over the phone that stops you from speaking anymore? Oh, yes. And let me see. Hold on. Yep. Says even right here in the notes, too. 6 ways to Sunday, they cussing you out. I'm sorry, but let me see if I'm getting this right. So when you pick up the phone, you say, "Hello, my name is Jill. I'm calling to collect a debt from such and such. Is this the person I'm speaking to?" And the first few words out their mouth is, "Bitch, don't be calling my phone up in here talking about you here to collect a debt and some shit. I don't appreciate that. If I find you," and it's an attitude that comes with it, right? Yes, I kind of figured that much. Well, Jill, it's not easy doing the job that you're doing. I mean, collecting debts, doing any kind of collection for a debt, for money owed, or for a bill unpaid, it's not an easy job, and I fully understand because it's frustrating to deal with the constant getting cussed out, being told I'm going to do this, that, and the third to you, being that in between the death threats. By any chance, is that what happened? Is that why you're here today? You got a call from somebody and they told you they're gonna. Oh, they made an open threat on you about blowing up your house. Okay, well, unfortunately, they don't know where you live at, so that's a good thing. Oh, okay. So it's not the fact that they're making threats alone, it's just the amount of disrespect that comes with your job. Oh, okay, I understand that. Trust me, I get it. It's not easy. Even people who do therapy work, even sometimes we get cussed out. Oh, yes, we do. My prime example was one a couple of months back. I was speaking to this gentleman about how he needs to stop doing certain things that his girlfriend might not appreciate, and he cussed me out 6 ways to Sunday, saying, and I quote, he said, "Fuck you. You don't even know how this relationship works. I know how to satisfy myself, and I know how to keep my relationship going. And this bitch ain't going nowhere." He nearly tried to put hands on me until the cops stepped in there and they told me he had to leave. A couple of weeks later, his girlfriend also broke up with him. Then he tried to come back later on and tried to say, "I broke up a happy home." And I told him, "Sir, you can either leave or the cops can help you leave." Oh, yes, I have them sometimes like that where people will get mad at you. Well, let's look at it what it is. Despite you being a debt collector, what you're doing is you're informing the person of their own responsibilities, especially when it comes to money. And I get it. You're not doing this to be mean. You're doing it because you're letting them know what their job is. And they sometimes blow it out of proportion by saying, "You don't need to call me up. I already know." Take it from me. A lot of people will sometimes hate what you do for a living, especially if it involves money or you telling them, "Hey, you need to take care of this." Otherwise, it'll look bad on your credit report. Otherwise, it'll make your credit score go down. And they hate hearing that or they hate seeing that. And then the most important thing, though, that you get tired of is the constant getting cussed out by saying, look, I'm just informing you of what's going to happen next. And then they say, well, bitch, fuck you. You ain't no real person. You just over here harassing me and violating my rights. And they'll tell you stuff like that. Yes. And you'll get sick and tired of it to the point where you want to say, well, bitch, let's take it down then. Let's go ahead. Let's do this then. Bring your raggedy ass on. Sorry. I'm just simulating how sometimes a debt collector will be anxious to ready to be throwing hands with somebody at any time. And I'm pretty sure right now there are some debt collectors out there right now who have been cussed out over the phone, who have been told that they'll blow up their house, that they'll come by and shoot up the place, and they'll politely hang up the phone. And some, they'll go to the break room, they'll cry because it's frustrating. Others, they'll probably go to the gym and hit the punching bag so hard that they'll probably break their knuckle. Or some will sit in the break room with their coworkers and they'll say, you won't believe what this motherfucker had to tell me here. Trust me, I understand what you're going through. It's not an easy thing being a debt collector. But well, it seems like mostly you just need someone to talk to. So tell me about one of your debt collection sessions that you had with someone. Ah, I see. So this man owed just simply $600 for an old hospital bill, and when you tried to call him about it, he cussed you out over the phone. How did you feel? Oh, you were ready to wreck shop on him, as they say. Okay. Tell me about another one. And remember, you don't have to mention names, which I'm glad you're not. Just tell me of the event when it happened. Oh, another person. So this person had a debt collection of $1,000, and you told him, and what happened? Well, was it a him or was it a her? I should be asking. Oh, this was a woman. She had a debt that she needed to be paid on. So what happened when you told her this? Oh, she talked bad about you. Ooh, yeah, she said, ooh, based on what I'm seeing here, she talked about you so badly, saying that you're probably some old ass heifer and that your your eggs are probably dried out and you're worthless. Yep, that's understandable. And another one? Oh, this last one, he told him he had a tremendous amount of debt that he had to pay, and he threatened to come by where you're at and blow up your building. Well, he doesn't know where you're at, and you're just sitting it, and the mail is going somewhere else. So even if he were to try to come to your job, I guarantee you security is right there. But I get where you're coming from. The whole point of your job is you're just telling people what they need to do, what they need to pay, how they need to pay it. And you're telling them that there are options. You can do it by credit card, debit card, money order, check, however they wish to do it. And they get mad at you for just telling them that. Well, let me let you know something, Jill. I have debt collectors too, and they sometimes contact me. But like I've always told them in a professional manner, I will pay you guys whenever I can. Oh, trust me, not all of people who you call, not all of them are bad. Just certain ones are bad because they know they're avoiding the debt. They know it's in their face, and they will continue to ignore it until it hits them hard in the face to where now they can't ignore it. And then they take out their rage and frustration on you. Well, it's all right, Jill. You're doing a fine job. I just want you to know that right now. Even if your boss hasn't told you, you're doing a fine job. But at the same time, you're letting these guys know, be it a man or a woman, you're letting them know that, hey, you're not here to start any nonsense with them. You're here to just make sure that this bill is taken care of. And if they want to be mad at you about that, let them. If they want to make idle threats towards you, let them. Because you know what's going to happen after a while? All these little idle threats of doing you bodily harm or coming to your job and blowing it up, setting on fire, whatever it is, all that will be later on taken into account. And I'm pretty sure every time you call, this call is being recorded for otherwise purposes. Yes. I hope they realize that every time that they call and give you these attitudes, that this is being put on their report. And later on, if they keep it up, they can be arrested for acts of violence or possible threat to do bodily harm to you, especially if they are trying to find out where you are. But despite all of that, despite the problems you deal with people, I just want you to remember this, Jill. You're doing a fine job. You're doing your job like anybody else, and all they need to do is just pay you guys. Even if it's only $5, even if it's only $10, they need to go ahead and pay you right there. They don't have to pay the full amount, but if they show that they are paying on it, then you wouldn't have to harass them so much. Exactly. See, there you go. You just needed somebody to talk to you about this, and don't feel bad every time that you get on the phone with these people that they're threatening to do you bodily harm. You're just trying to get them to understand that if they pay this, you'll call them less, and that the amount on it will slowly go down. That's all they got to remember. But let me ask you, how do you feel though right now? Well, that's good. You feel aggravated. I'm glad you feel aggravated. I'm glad you feel. Let me say it for you. I'm glad you feel pissed the fuck off because, excuse me, they don't know how hard it is to do this job. They don't know what it's like to just get called up out of nowhere. See, you would be wrong if you picked up the phone and you said, "Look at here, little bitch. You owe this $600 here. You're gonna pay now. Or I'm gonna come. Do I have to come to your house and fuck you up?" They would hate it if you said that, because then it'd be, I've got threatened. This person said they're going to do this if I don't pay this debt. See, they need to understand. Just like they want y'all to respect them, they need to learn how to respect y'all for doing your job. They wouldn't like it if you picked up the phone and said, "Listen here, you old bitch. I know you owe this child support money. You need to go ahead and pay me right now. Otherwise, we're gonna garnish your money so bad." See, they would hate it if you went like that. But I know you don't work for a child support collections agency. I'm just pointing out what you could say off the phone to them. But I'm glad you don't, and I'm glad you're maintaining a professional manner towards them. And that's good that you do it. You know why? Because you're showing those other people on the other end of that line that, hey, I don't care what you say about me. I don't care how you treat me. All you need to know is by the time this conversation is over with, when I hang up that phone, guess what? Your problem is still here. Your problem is going to be waiting on you. And until you make some payments towards said problem, guess what? I'm going to call you when it's time, and I'm going to let you know the same message every single time. But right now, Jill, our session is up. Don't you feel sad about this no more. I want you to hold your head up high, and I want you to keep reminding yourself one thing. I'm doing my job, and if they don't like it, too bad. But you have a nice day, Jill.